Oh my. Oh my.
You are now tuned in to the Revolution Radio Show.
Yo, what it is and what it do. You are officially tuned in to the Revolution Radio Show on 102.3 FM KCAA in the Inland Empire, worldwide on the NBC Radio Network, as well as on iHeartRadio. As always, I am your host. My name is Jay Love, and I am joined each and every day by two amazingly beautiful, brilliant, let me say brilliant first, brilliant, talented women. First off, Miss Cherie Marlene, how you doing today?
Right. I'm all stop. It's more. Hi, everybody. What is today? Thursday. See, I got my days right. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Thursday the 25th. And Miss Meliana, how you doing?
I feel great. How you feeling, Jay?
I'm feeling good. It is Thursday the 25th. We're officially in it. Want to have a quick announcement. Bing, 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 bing. So today I got my second and final vaccination shot. Shout out to wasn't able to go to Krispy Kremes because I can't eat sugar, but I got my second vaccination today. So far I only have a small hump in my back, 2 extra ears, and I got a little bit of hair growing out of my left pinky toe, but that's it. Other than that, I'm good.
You had that hump before the shot, Jay.
I'm not sure. So yeah. So far that's it. There's not a lot of side effects. I'm good.
Which vaccination did you say you?
Moderna.
So what's the difference? I heard there's like a Johnson Johnson or Pfizer.
So there's Johnson Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer. I want to say there's one other.
I thought it was only the 3. No?
I thought maybe there was one other. I guess the biggest. 2. No, there's 3 for sure. The Johnson & Johnson is the one that's like only one shot. And I guess as of right now, the most controversial one, as Miss Cherie Marlene brought up before, has somewhere it's a weird breakdown.
The Johnson & Johnson?
Yeah, the science is weird, but somewhere in there has to do with cells from an aborted baby in 1973. So
I love how he says 1973 like it makes it irrelevant, but we'll leave it alone.
Yeah, like how he says it real quick. Yeah.
So, but no,
it's okay.
But no, I'm just saying, because it's not the same thing exactly, but whatever. I get it. I understand. So, and then the other 2, the Moderna and the Pfizer is 2 shots. You have to get 2 shots.
Yes.
So,
I met somebody today who works for Pfizer.
Oh.
And so, yeah, he retired from there. He worked for them for 30 years, and he was just kind of explaining like the ins and outs of it. He's like, I had nothing to do with this vaccination. He's like, but before we've developed and we're the part of. So it was pretty cool. Careers you don't think about on a day-to-day basis. So
there's a whole lot they didn't teach us in school. You know what
right?
I mean? A whole lot they didn't teach us in school. Matter of fact, one of the things they didn't teach us is how to get a scholarship. And I'm going to teach you how to get a scholarship. You ready?
Ooh, how?
Here's how you get a scholarship. Okay. You grow up, you work at a bakery in New York, and you have a crazy bagel Karen come in and call you the N-word. And as a result of her calling you the N-word, a college offers you a free scholarship.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
Somebody?
So do you guys know, have you not heard about this case?
No, please tell me.
So there's this case in New York where a woman, and they're calling her Bagel Karen, went in. And so it started with, she didn't want to wear a mask. And as we know, New York was like, ground zero, not really ground zero because it started in Seattle, right? But was the hottest hit in this country was New York City, right? With the COVID virus. So obviously they still are they're kind of like LA, I think a little bit tighter than LA. But the point is, she didn't have a mask on. And the guy politely asked her, like, ma'am, I need you to put a mask on, and she threw a fit and was like, I'm not wearing a mask, and was going off and started being really belligerent, right? There's video of the entire incident. So she literally she called him the N-word, and she's like, yeah, I said it. So it was crazy. The internet is undefeated, right? Because they already found out who she is. They plastered her profile. Her name is Stephanie Denaro. So there's I got her name. So Stephanie Denaro, they plastered her, her Instagram all over, and so she's not loving life right now. But a college in New York reached out to him because they had heard the story, and they offered him a scholarship. So here's the thing. I think, shout out, dude, take your scholarship, get it, run with it, the whole thing, right? But I just think in the big scheme of hate crimes, in the history of hate crimes in the world, I think maybe there's a few other people that might have deserved a scholarship before this cat. And I'm not trying to be a hater, because go ahead, dude, man, I take it. What you gonna do? Don't say no. You know what I mean? But you got called the name, bruh. You know what I mean?
True. And I think because there is more serious things out there, situations out there, I hear you. But then I feel like your statement is also the same thing as the Kylie Jenner thing. It's like someone does something nice and you're going to criticize it. And, well, I just think this, and this. Like,
okay.
Right.
Okay. So let me not criticize it.
I hear is that Jesus could work all things for good. She came in with a negative intention. Okay. He got a college.
You know what? Then yes. So I'm open to any. I've been called the N-word for free. So I'm open now. I will have my camera ready if anybody out there.
Right. Do better then. Let's go ahead and put you all over and see what you get out of it the next situation that comes up.
I'm telling you, it's a lot of. It's crazy the amount of things that are in the news regarding to the race issue, right? So let me go another story. There was a high school football coach in Georgia who was using I guess you would say anti-Semitic words or names for play calls, like during a football game, right? So for example, one of the plays was called Auschwitz, which most of us should know is one of the most infamous concentration camps during World War II, right? So he called the play Auschwitz. He called another play Rabbi, another one Dreidel, whatever. So here's my thing.
Why though?
That's my point. That was going to be my point. Like in the year 2021.
What was the play called? What was the play called?
One of them, there were several, but for example, one of them was called Auschwitz. So Auschwitz is one of the most notorious concentration camps during World War II. Like thousands of Jews died at Auschwitz. So,
that's not even an easy thing to say. Like, what is your meaning behind that? Like, what is the point here?
Auschwitz.
And
sound like Auschwitz. Are we switching defenders? Like Auschwitz.
But that's what I'm saying. No. It's obviously intentional. It was not like it's some acronym that was simple to say and it could be misunderstood as something racist. It was intentional. Why?
Yeah. And I've said this all the time. I am a proponent of free speech. Say whatever you want, but understand there's consequences that come with it. And dude, now that he's obviously catching heat because parents went nuts. Like, it was wild. And so now he, obviously, he offered the traditional apology. I want to apologize. I didn't mean it, yada, yada, whatever. Right. But it's like, come on, dude. In the year 2021, there's so many words in the English language, right? You could have called it SpongeBob, right? You could have called it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what was his, clearly it was an intention or there was a point to prove. What was the, I failed to see the point. Like, I want to understand.
No, he said, well, according to his apology, right? He said that he didn't mean anything by it, that he just, was trying to come up with creative names for plays. Again, hire me as a consultant. I'm really creative. I could come up with some names. We could call the play Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. That's one play. Well, do you have ideas, Miss Creative?
I'm just saying I think they should be shortened. So maybe Supercalifragilistic and then the rest. No?
So, but it's just it boggles my mind what people think they can get away with, right? Because at some point you gotta know somebody's gonna hear these plays. Like, I have to think that you're not mentally challenged to the point that you don't honestly think in the age of everyone has a phone, everyone's recording all the time, everyone is constantly, it's people are looking for things to put people out on the internet, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would make you think like, yo, you know what would be great names for a play in football in the state of Georgia? Auschwitz. That's a great one right there. I'm just gonna. But while we at it, why don't we call another one Hitler?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, even if it was like named that because it was the killer play, let's just say it's still offensive and it's still hurtful. And why are we doing that?
I don't.
So anyway,
I fully don't understand.
And I do think that this whole world is too sensitive. Let's just be clear there. Let me throw that out there. We are way too sensitive today, but that's still something intentional. And with a world of such sensitivity, you should proceed with a little bit more wisdom than that, I guess.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And so, and further news that kind of doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me, but hey, this is the world we live in. Have you guys heard of this NFT craze that's going on?
Mm-mm.
It's kind of in the vein of cryptocurrency, right? It's kind of in that vein. I still don't fully understand it, but people are apparently making a lot of money on it, right? And I guess it's digital. So it's the transference of digital, like, let's say I take a screenshot of this right now of us doing this show. Then I could go on a platform and sell this because it would be one of one, right? It's one of one.
Mm-hmm.
And so it doesn't make sense to me because technically, if you take a picture as digital, why can't I take a picture of your picture and still have it? You know what I mean? In the world of digital. So anyways, Ja Rule recently, so you guys remember the Fire Festival, the infamous Fire Festival, right? That you know about the Fire Festival, right? Please tell me you know about the Fire Festival. You don't know about the Fire Festival? There was a movie about it and everything.
So for our listeners out there that are like Sheree Marlene.
Yes, for our listeners that are not like Sheree Marlene.
Was it that music festival? Was it like
yes, it was a music festival about 4 or 5 years ago, pre-pandemic. That was supposed to be the biggest, most amazing music festival in history. That Ja Rule, or there was another guy that but Ja Rule was like one of the main guys that helped him put together. But this other guy was just a huge like sleazeball, and it was going to be in the Bahamas on a private island. Originally it was supposed to be on Pablo Escobar's island, where there's where Pablo Escobar used to land cocaine planes or whatever. That didn't end up happening. So they moved it to another island in the Bahamas. But like everything that they promised, it was supposed to be like, they ended up having like, for example, and the tickets were crazy. I think like the cheapest ticket was like $1,000 was the cheapest, but they would go up to like $100,000 for this, this festival. Plus there was like packages for like 250,000, whatever. So it was a big debacle where people lost like, it was millions and millions of dollars, whatever. Right. So it was the biggest fail. So anyways, there was a painting from the Fire Festival that Ja Rule had, and he just sold it for $122K on NFT. Like he sold a painting from the fire. Like it's just this NFT thing. I know you for those of you who can't see, Sheree's looking at me like I don't understand. Like it's the point that, like I said, I can literally take a picture of this right now. If I understood who I could, like if I knew who to call for NFT, I would sell a picture of this right now. I don't know how much.
What does NFT stand for?
No funds transferable. I don't know. Something transferable.
Don't make it up. Oh my God.
Was she asking me a question?
Right. Doesn't mean you have to have.
Then just say you don't know.
Okay. This is what it stands for. A non-fundable, and I don't know what this word is. Maybe Sheree, you might know. Fungible token. FUNGIBLE. Non-fungible token, meaning the buyer just gets a one-of-a-kind digital code linked to the image. So I don't know if it's a picture. So they get a one-of-a-kind digital code linked to the image.
I know, but are these pictures limited? Like an art of somebody or food, or what are the pictures?
It's literally, because I'm looking at it, it's a picture of like that someone did the logo of the Fire Festival. So like the original, like that he had, that they did the logo of the Fire Festival. That. So he sold that as an NFT for 122,000. He originally wanted 600,000, but I guess they weren't willing to pay that much. So
I want to know who bought
about
that.
it now. It's interesting.
Yeah. So I just, this is just, a lot of, and then speaking of more ridiculous news on the racist side of things. Do you remember Soho Karen? Let me remind y'all, for those of y'all who don't know who Soho Karen is, some months ago, a young lady and she had a famous interview with Gayle King. She accosted a young black kid that was only, I believe, 13 years old, and accused him of stealing her cell phone. You remember the story?
I feel like I remember this. I feel like
in New York.
Why is it always out of New York?
I don't know. New York has been, it's been having some issues.
Right?
So this young lady is Mia Ponsetto, right? And so in addition to, because she had been arrested and been charged, right? But now the parents, she has a civil suit coming her way. So in addition, she still hasn't even gone to court on the criminal stuff, right? Now they're applying a civil action against her. Like, I guess here's the moral of the story, ladies and gentlemen. Please, if there's any Karens listening, and I don't know why Karens would listen to me, because I'm assuming Karens would hate my guts. But if you don't hate my guts, or maybe you like,
I feel like there are Karens that are in denial out there. Sometimes they don't realize they're a Karen. But go ahead.
Just Karen, let me share something with you. Okay, J Love would like to tell Karen some advice. Okay, because J Love, has known a few Karens in his life, and so listen to J Love. Karen, it's not worth it. It's not worth it for just a moment of you feeling like you were right and ended up being wrong. Because when it goes wrong real fast. And the price that you pay for being wrong, I'm telling you, you're not going to want to pay that price. This little girl is going to end up probably, I don't think she'll do jail time, but she'll definitely get probation, right? Probation costs you money. Plus it'll be on her record, right? And then whatever the civil suit is, she's going to end up actually having a bill just because she felt she needed to accuse Lil Homie of taking her phone. You know what I mean? So
hey, I appreciate this is all important. The words of, but what's been on my mind is like, I was on Jackfruit. This Asian lady, older lady got attacked right in front of a police car, her head beaten. And I'm hurt right now. I'll be real with you, because you're right. These plays in the football names, inappropriate. Someone calling the N-word, inappropriate. But the Asian community, my people right now are really hurting. They're literally physically getting beaten, killed, stabbed, knocked down. A lot of them, if not 60% or more, are older people, the elderly. So like, I feel like we should put some light onto this too, because it's happening now.
Right now, we've been talking about it.
Yeah, that's definitely been in the forefront of our entire show, I feel like. And it's like, I'm glad that we have these conversations. I'm glad it's being spread through social media. And I always see you doing your part on posting and supporting. So I do feel like we've definitely been, and I actually saw that same exact video, which is insane.
Sure. I mean, this topic, in this episode, if we're going to talk about races and, I never said we didn't bring it up on the show. No. And I don't want every episode to be about this. That's not the energy, but I feel like if we are going to talk about it, like this is happening, like this is a racial thing that's happening in my community too. Like that's like tearing me down. It's literally beating me up, like, because it's hurting my community and people are DMing me and they're confused and hurt, and they're physically getting beat up and killed. So, we should also put that, like, I put that out there too for people who don't know what's going on.
And I think too, like, since this is something that's happening so much, precaution needs to be taken, and it's unfortunate, right? But we do need to band together. If you have friends that are in the Asian community, like, no one walking alone. No, it's sad that we have to come to that, but until this goes away, I feel like that's what needs to be done. Right? Supporting the person, I feel like that's where it starts.
No, right? Absolutely. And I've said this before, and I've never understood the culture of filming something. Like I've never had anything on camera like that, because I'm the type of person that always gets involved. Like I don't understand that culture. I mean, I'm glad for the people who did film things, because otherwise we wouldn't have actual evidence of a lot of these things happening.
It's an eerie theory going on right now that I heard, that I'm not even ruling this out, but that they're actually instigating. I'm not saying this isn't really happening, that Asians aren't dealing with racism, but that they're actually paying people to beat them up, and then someone will record it. Because have you guys noticed who's recording it? Like, there's never a person that's like, whose page was that? Why didn't you do anything about it? Like, we just see it roaming out, the video out there, recorded that. And then someone had brought that to my attention, and it's like just random people. It's kind of like we were talking about the other day about during the BLM movement, people were plotting bricks, big bricks or big things around stores and stuff. Like, who did that? So my thing is, like, is this happening? Like, are they trying to instigate something? So another form of division amongst the people? I don't know. That could be out there too. So I'm just like, this is crazy right now.
Yeah, I definitely. But like I said, just in general, typically, and obviously we can't see right from the back of the camera, but It feels like, because you could hear voices, it always feels like there's multiple people, is what I'm saying.
Right.
In all of the, like in every case, not just this, just in general, I'm saying there's something in the culture as a whole
of filming.
Of filming and people just watching. Like, I've never understood that. Like, I remember saying, when I saw George Floyd's murder, had I have been there, either both of us would have got killed or he would have lived. But there's no way I would have stood by and just watched that happen. Like, I don't have that in me. Like, for example, just 2 days ago, you guys know I'm doing my recovery from my heart attack, or whatever. So every morning I have to walk, and I have this little route that I go on my walk. And so part of it is I cut through a Walmart parking lot that has a McDonald's in it. And some girl, I don't know how she did it, but basically in the drive-through, she hit a couple of cars, right? And so she ended up pulling her car out of the drive-through. Everyone's filming her, right? And a couple of the McDonald's employees filmed like her license plate, that sort of thing. And then she started to chase one of the employees, like if she was going to because she was kind of a big girl, like she was going to beat him up. So I decided, well, let me go over there. So I went over there, and like everyone's looking at me like, what are you doing? And I'm like, because like, this is stupid. Like, why is she chasing it? So I was like, look, I don't know you. This is none of my business. But look, you gonna make it worse. Like an assault on top of, like, it was an accident. No one's seriously hurt, like whatever, right? And she's like, I don't know you. I'm like, yeah, I know you don't know me. But look, chill. Like, you gonna make this situation worse. Believe me when I tell you that. So then she's like, no, that's it. I can't. I just wanted to get coffee. I can't take this. I'm leaving. And I said, yo, if you leave, it's automatically a hit and run. Stay. Don't make this thing worse, right? Anyways, long story, she ended up leaving, whatever. Everybody was filming it. But my point is, there was literally at least 15 people filming it. No one, you know what I mean? Like, what if she would have caught that look? Because the dude was little. Like, she probably could have put some hurt on him. You know what I mean? Like, everyone would have just filmed an assault. And I'm like, this is, and I'm not like, you know what I mean? Like, I act tough or whatever, but like if I were to get hit in the chest right now, it'd be all bad, right? And so, but I just picture it. But I just understand that, like, I can't just sit by and watch things happen. And I guess my plea is this: I'm not telling you to put yourself in harm's way, right? I'm not saying that, but you would be surprised how much hey, what are you doing? Stop, like all those little things, if nothing, distract people. Right? Like it does add something. And I think we need to stop this thing in the culture of, designate one person to film. I don't know. Like if there's 12.
I just feel like we live in a world where people have become more so cowards. And the reason I say that is it's everybody has hidden or is hiding behind their phone in general. Now, I know what you're saying, Melian, is maybe this is something that's a premeditated situation where they've been paid to film it. But to J Love's point too, I just feel like that goes with dating online, that goes with approaching people, that goes with everything. Nobody ever wants to get involved, right? But they'll be the first one to post it. Look what I got. Look what I got. So I think it's unfortunately
maybe it starts from a young age, like even in middle school or elementary, right? Or high school. When someone gets in a fight, we don't stop it. It's like we're watching it. It's entertainment.
Right. No, absolutely. And I think that's where we need to, I've just always been taught to intervene. And I think it's important to intervene, right? If people start intervening, it'll stop happening.
Yeah, because everyone's quick to say, well, it's not my issue. It's not my issue.
Yeah.
Right? But if you're watching it, it is your issue.
Exactly. And so it's like, it's just absolutely ridiculous. And like, you know, for example, to speaking on the same subject matter, I didn't know this, but, you know, last week we talked about the young lady that was sexually assaulted in San Francisco coming off of the train, right? Because those of you who don't know, San Francisco has something similar to like a subway. And so she got I saw the actual news story. And what happened is the reason she didn't get full on raped is because a gentleman did step in, right? That's the good, you know what I mean? Like it was not his, it wasn't his business, right? You know, he wasn't even going in that specific direction. He was kind of going away. He heard her screaming, right? And went and involved himself. And he didn't physically touch the guy, but his presence there going, hey, stop that, leave her alone, made the guy walk away. Then he didn't just stop there. He followed the guy for 6 blocks while on the phone with 911. And they were able to, you know, arrest the guy, right? And so that's the side, like I said, this dude he didn't physically attack that guy, you know what I mean? He didn't, you know, and he said himself, he's like, I'm not a tough guy. I was actually kind of scared, but I felt like I had to do something. You know what I mean? And so that's the thing, is that if we all do something, I'm not telling people to be a hero. I'm not telling you to, you know, put a cape on and go run into burning buildings, but something, we have to do something, because we are our brother's keeper. We are responsible for one another. And I would hate imagine if something was happening to you or your mother, right? Or someone and people just watched. Yeah. That has to stop. You know, and I think it you know, it starts with us saying like, yo, it's not cool at all. Like, and I think we should start with, which is difficult, right? Because it's like a train wreck. It's hard not to, but stop watching the videos.
Well, you know I mean, that's a 2-part sword, because if you stop watching the videos, you're now not promoting or spreading the word. I think the message that we should all take away from this, based on what Melian said and what Jane Love is saying, is if your eyes have seen it, it's happening in front of you, you are now held responsible. You cannot turn a blind eye, or you are just as guilty as the person that's attacking another human being. Absolutely. So that's our message. You are responsible.
Yes, absolutely. So in other news, on a lighter note, you guys remember I had previously shared with you that the president's dogs were not allowed at the White House.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I just had some good news. They went to discipline training, and they are now allowed back at the White House.
Oh my gosh.
So shout out to the presidential dogs for getting their discipline together. You know what I'm saying? They did their time, right? They got convicted. They did their time, you know, and
that was now fast. They trained that fast?
I don't know. Maybe they got.
They really do. When I sent Leo for training, he was completely whipped back into shape within like a 2-week time frame. So yeah, that's possible.
We can't call guys dogs anymore, because guys don't train that fast. Dogs?
Oh, that's funny.
We are not to be trained. We are kings.
So question. I don't know if you guys drink soda or did drink soda in the past, but do you guys have a preference between Coke or Pepsi? Which one do you choose?
When I used to drink soda, Coca-Cola.
Okay, I used to be Pepsi. I'm a Coke.
Pepsi. When Pepsi. I used to drink soda.
Pepsi. Well, I still do every now and then. Thank you, listeners. I like my Coca-Cola every now and then. Anyway, I haven't reached your guys' standard of health apparently, but I bring that up to say Pepsi is coming out with a new flavor. Have you guys heard of it? It's, you know, the little Easter bunny Peeps.
Shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah, so it's a Peeps flavored Pepsi, and apparently it's not been released. You can actually win it through their Instagram or some type of contest. But yeah, that's their new flavor.
That's gross.
Get out of here.
I heard Coke just came out with a coffee flavor.
Yes, they did just come out with the coffee flavor, which sounds disgusting because I hate coffee. But do you guys think the Peeps one is going to be good?
That sounds disgusting. No, I don't even like Peeps, like the Peeps. The marshmallow. They was all.
Yeah, I hate it too, but I imagine it's gonna be similar to like a sweet vanilla-y taste, and which I don't like, but I know a lot of people like vanilla flavored soda.
Maybe kids will probably like it. Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's weird, but shout out to Pepsi and their creativity.
Okay. Wow. Right. Man, that one, yeah, you threw me off on that one.
Well,
and so, also earlier in the week we had talked about Demi Lovato, right?
Yep.
And so it was so she just had a documentary come out, right? Where she was revealing about just all of the things that she had dealt with. And I didn't realize this, that she said that she was addicted to heroin, that she had used meth, Molly, cocaine, OxyContin. I was like, yo, like meth? I mean, they're all bad. They're
all bad, but she looks good still, right? Like, doesn't that completely ruin you?
Yeah, but I think I don't think she had the, like, thank God, let me put it this way, that she got help when she did, right? Because I guess she didn't have the time in to allow it, that time where it starts to destroy you, like your body physically, because like I said, they're all bad. All of those are bad. But when I hear meth, I'm like, ooh, you was really like on a downward spiral. Like you was really like, meth just seems like the kind of drug when you've given up on life. Right. Like because I've known people who were addicted to meth, and they've shared with me that, like, you literally, like 10 years later after you're sober, can have like a flashback because it's chemical and it messes with your brain. And you literally could have a moment 10 years later out of nowhere, and you've been sober. So meth is just a whole nother beast of a drug.
That's insane. My heart goes out to people that got wrapped up in that and sucked into it, because talk about like having just a strong hold, like having a strong hold over you. That's so sad, because once you're in it, that's it, right?
Yeah, and she said that that's what led to her OD on July 24th of 2018. And that had she have not, gotten help when she did, that she was about 5 to 10 minutes away from death.
Wow.
So I applaud her for sharing this story, because I think that this testimony is I really do believe it's going to help a lot of people, because I think there's so many kids, not that people haven't used drugs in other generations, but I just think there's something about this generation that, like, they're cool. Like, drugs used to be a thing that, like, kind of like there was a certain group that were kind of like losers, you know what I mean? And now it's like, it's just kind of accepted, like heroin is accepted, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's more of a druggy culture. And so I just, I really hope that her story, where people can relate to and say, you know what, I need to get some help. And if you do need, find some help. If you struggling with an addiction, find some help, because that stuff is no joke. You don't want to find yourself at the bottom of your barrel, you know.
Is she still is Demi still engaged? I thought she was engaged,
so.
I believe.
I don't think so. I could be wrong though. I just was,
Cherie, we gotta check Cherie.
We gotta fact check.
Okay, here's another. Before we pay some bills and some other things, here's another quick story. The rapper NBA YoungBoy.
Yeah.
Okay, Cherie's like, yeah, no, but whatever.
To me, he kind of looks scary. Like, does he look kind of scary to you? Like, I don't know. He looks kind of scary.
I can see where, yes, he can have that appearance to people. Yes, like there's something wrong with him. But on Tuesday, FBI agents on Monday, FBI agents in the LAPD, after a brief but dramatic pursuit, he straight took the cops on a pursuit. They arrested the rapper, and they had him on federal charges stemming from a drug bust back in September. Right. And so, in the docs, it says the federal prosecutors take issue with 2 guns YoungBoy allegedly had on him when the cops arrested him in Baton Rouge for drugs. The feds claim he had a .45 pistol and a 9mm handgun. Both are major no-nos for him because he has a previous felony on his record for an aggravated assault. In addition, the feds say the 9mm was not registered to NBA YoungBoy. So, if you don't have a registered weapon on you. So the bottom line is, this guy has a really successsul career, right? I don't understand it.
He's like the number 1 most searched artist, NBA YoungBoy, on YouTube. He has like millions of views.
I don't get it personally, but the point is, like, dude, you had a super successful career, And now it's like, obviously we don't know because he hasn't gone to court yet and all that stuff, but he's obviously going to do some time, right? He's going to do some time, whatever that time is. And in a business where you can be forgot about in 6 months, usually you can't afford to go away for, any amount of time. And it's just like to throw your life away, like you escaped all of that, and here's what again, to anybody who makes a little bit of money, you don't have to carry weapons. Pay someone.
Do you think that comes from a place of entitlement, though? Like he just got success so early on that you almost feel invincible? Like it's Absolutely. That whole...
Yeah, because you have nothing but yes men around you. You pretty much, when you're a rock star, right? Just the culture of being a rock star, you can do whatever you want. And the more dangerous your behavior, it's applauded in that world, right? Because sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and wow, that dude's crazy, got a gun on him, But it's like, come on, man, like you gotta be smarter than this.
Besides the success of his music, he's like 21, Sheree, and he has like 6 kids, 6 kids already.
No, 8.
Stop it.
8.
He's 21 and he has
21, 22, yeah.
And he has 8 children.
8 kids, yes.
Something like that, crazy, something crazy.
So like multiple women or like
yeah.
So it was okay. Because I was gonna say if you deduct 8 years off his age, he's a baby. I mean, he still is, but multiple women got it.
So he been on the road. he been including one
spreading his seed everywhere.
Well, including one of his baby mamas is Floyd Mayweather's daughter. So I mean, she's gonna be fine because of her daddy. So she, that. But I don't know who these other women are.
I guess we're both wrong. He has 7 kids.
6, 7, 8. It's 6, 7, all in the same neighborhood.
At that age, 21, 7 kids. Like to me, that's
wow.
That means by the time he my age, he's gonna have about 17, 18.
I don't know, even more, right? Wow. Yeah. I mean, if he keeps up this pace.
I mean, he might,
It's kind of sad though. I know we joking, but it's kind of sad because, like, I know the kids. Like, how present do you think he's in their life?
He's not. I mean, I don't even know, but I can say he's not, because for one, he tours a lot, or he did pre-COVID at least. And I know he's still doing shows. That's what I heard, is that he it was one of the artists that still during COVID was able to do a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, right? Mm-hmm. Then depending on what's like, I doubt, I could be wrong, but I doubt that they're all in the same city, right? Mm-hmm. So, depending on where you spend most of your time, if your kids and, who you split your time with, like, especially if you got to travel for some, and maybe not blaming them, but maybe some baby mamas are more difficult than others. So then to not deal with that headache. So there's like so much going on. It's pretty safe to say he's not involved with his children, and, maybe he sends money.
Right.
Maybe.
As an artist myself, like I barely have time for myself. So I can't see him having 7 kids. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
Those are run throughs. That's like he stopped through, you know what I mean? She came up to the room, you know what I mean? Nice seeing you in Denver.
Some of his baby moms, they were like his girlfriend, like you were saying, Yaya Mayweather.
Well, they couldn't be girlfriends for too long. Well, but even remember there was that whole scandal with Yaya Mayweather that he had the other chick over at the house.
Yeah, well, actually, I think some of the baby mama's time of pregnancy overlap.
So that's the point, though. They couldn't all been girlfriends, or there was a few that were in there, and then the rest were sides, right?
This is so hilarious. We act like we're talking about somebody we know. And you know what, girl? The other day, you know what Susan told me? That she was at the house.
Well, you were doing a whole breakdown of time frames and cities, and I'm like, okay, so for all the baby daddies, like all the multiple baby mamas, he's giving you a breakdown of whether or not.
But look, this is this generation's rock star. Like, he's an idol to so many people, teenagers, kids, like even some adults. And like, that's this generation's like rock star.
And here's what we ain't discussing. Obviously, he's not using protection, which means obviously somewhere on that road, there is some STDs being passed around. Because if you look at the statistics, if you look at the numbers, it's a numbers game. It's Russian roulette. One of them, if not more, either passed on or was passed on to them an STD. That you could for sure.
All right. Well, On that note, commercial break.
Ew. They need a rap. No, not that rap.
Right.
Yeah. So if you just tuning in, this is the Revolution Radio Show. We sitting here talking about all of the stuff that's going on in the news, man. And there's so much stuff in the news. And so I'm a huge Prince fan, right? And so I don't know if you knew, but where Prince used to live, famously known as Paisley Park, this huge compound, where he not only lived but worked. Like it was like a functional thing. I want to go one day because they recently turned Paisley Park into a museum, right?
Okay. Which
is really dope. And being this coming up to mark the 5th anniversary of his death on April 21st, they're going to be allowing 1,400, obviously spaced out, but 1,400 of his fans to come to the compound because they're going to be displaying his ashes. That
cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's gonna sell out so quick. 1,400.
Yeah, 1,400 is nothing for Prince. Like that's not. You haven't even left, Minneapolis at that point. Like
I felt like that when Kobe had his memorial at the Staples Center. Like you couldn't even think about trying to get in there. I'm like, man,
I thought for sure they would have done Kobe's at a stadium,
the Rose Bowl or something. Yeah,
no, for real. Because think about Nipsey's was at Staples Center. And I was like, if Nipsey got, literally packed out the Staples Center, Kobe, I thought for sure, they would have had to do like the Rose Bowl or something because the amount of, admiration, especially in LA, the people had for Kobe. And the fact that like, I can only imagine that like Kobe, I don't know if you guys remember that people were selling fake tickets to Kobe's funeral.
No, I don't.
Yeah, it was the disrespect is real, but I can imagine that somebody right now is trying to figure out how to, slang fake tickets to this thing. But they're saying that the reservations can be made on PaisleyPark.com. I'm sure those have already been ran through before this story even hit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, but for Prince fans, like I said, I think Paisley Park is going to become like Graceland, the way Graceland is for Elvis Presley. Mm-hmm. Because not just because it's Prince, but because of the fact that for so many years Prince was so private, and to have, just that ability to like get into a place where very few people in his lifetime ever got to go into. I think some people just even out of sheer curiosity are going to be, wanting to it's Paisley Park. Who gets to go inside Paisley Park? Because I saw a video tour of it. And it's really cool. I can't wait to go because there's like a whole room that's Purple Rain, and it has like the motorcycle, from Purple Rain and the outfit. You know what I mean? So, but anyways, there's so much other stuff we can talk about. I want to talk about people being safe. We're gonna do that when we come back. We're gonna take a quick break, but spring break is going on, and there's some cautions. Y'all need to take some cautions on spring break. I know y'all are people feeling free because after a year of COVID, but
especially after the STD talk, be cautious in all areas. Thank you. Spring breaker.
Wait till I tell you what's going down. We'll be back in just a minute.
Exotics Wellness. From massage oils to bath bombs, from drops to pain bombs, everything you need in exotic CBD wellness. Go to www.queenexotics.com. That's www.queenexotics.com or Queen Exotics on Instagram.
Do you have a business that requires heavily upon your clientele base having access to cash, like a dispensary or a barbershop? Or maybe you're in the market for one of the new cutting-edge Bitcoin ATMs or self-serve kiosks. Whatever your ATM needs, reach out to my man Guy, the ATM Guy, at 855-4ATM-GUY. That's 855-4ATM-GUY or online at www.atmguy.net.
With without even lifting a finger, achieve the body of your dreams. You're perfect the way that you are, but if you've been struggling to tone up and love your body, there's something that can help you get there. Put down the box of chocolates and pick up a wrap. No, not that kind. A wrap that you can wear. That's Gym in a Box. The Core Wrap, the best body shaper anywhere. It features ultimate performance technology, Tone Up 15 to firm tone and strengthen your abs as it shapes your waist. That's Gym in a Box. Go to gyminabox.la to get yours now. That's gyminabox.la because you deserve your dream body.
Yo, welcome back. You're tuned into the Revolution Radio Show on 102.3 FM KCAA in the Inland Empire, worldwide on the NBC Radio Network as well as iHeartRadio. So listen, it's spring break right now, and it's crazy because this time goes by so quickly. But I gotta say this story real quick as a cautionary tale for all of you young ones out there trying to wow out during spring break. Cops in Miami had to arrest 2 men for allegedly drugging and raping a young woman who traveled there alone. So there's a bunch of red flags here, right?
Wait, where was this?
In Miami. Okay. You know Florida. So the cops say that they left her for dead in her hotel room. She was 24-year-old Christine Engelhart. Her body was found in her hotel room because, mind you, they found her dead. And allegedly she was being carried. The surveillance cameras showed them carrying her into. She was obviously inebriated, carrying her into the hotel, and then they left about an hour or so later. And so after drugging her and raping her, 2 men. But the crazy thing is that she had just posted on social media about like, hey, don't trust strangers, like all of this stuff about like not trusting strangers and whatnot. You know what I mean? But here's my thing. And I'm never want to put guilt on a victim.
Right.
But to your point, do not travel somewhere alone. And I know women are capable of taking care of themselves. I get all, especially young ladies, please don't try. Because look, we know that the culture of spring break forever and ever and ever has been debauchery, right? And even if you don't mean to find yourself in a situation that is dangerous, we know that this is nothing new. This is not the first rape during a spring break. It's not the first time a young girl has been found dead during spring break. And so, like,
I don't know if I'll do it now because, like, but you know what? About 5 years ago, I went to Catalina by myself for my birthday, on my actual birthday, because they were just too stressful trying to plan everything with everyone's schedule. Some people work, so I went to Catalina by myself on my birthday, and it was the best birthday I've ever had.
And my friend Michelle went to Italy by herself and claims it was the absolute best thing. However, she ended up getting lost out there, and a taxi driver pulled over and said, "You look lost. Where are you supposed to be?" And she gave him the address of where she's supposed to be. He's like, you are very far from that, and this is not a good neighborhood that you're in. So I hear you, and I actually think that people should have the freedom to travel alone, but I really don't think it's safe. In fact, I was before.
Like, I'm thinking about it now. Like, I don't even know. Like,
it's
maybe
crazy, right?
Crazier back then, but it was the best time. I really envisioned my time with God during that time. Like, I didn't want to feel lonely. Like, I was like, I'm having dinner right now with God. Thank you, God. Filling myself up with gratitude. It was a whole nother story. And I had the best birthday. I was walking the pier and I found 5 people playing basketball, these teenagers. And I was like, hey, you guys want to play 3-on-3? I played basketball with them. There's all these places because Catalina is called Birthday Island. So if it's your birthday, you get to go scuba diving for free. There's dinner for free because they expect you to come with a group of people. So my solo butt came and they're like, oh, it's your birthday. And they're looking. And I was like, yeah, I'm just here by myself. So I spent less than $20. And wow. It was the best time of my life.
No, and you're right. You should have the ability, like there shouldn't be any restraints, right? But unfortunately, the world that we live in, and again, I'm not trying to discriminate, but especially young women, like, and there's also a difference, I think, between Catalina, per se, even Italy, and spring break, right? Because when you mix in drugs and alcohol,
yeah, you're right.
It's always a recipe for the unknown to go on, right? And it would be great in a perfect world if like, yo, I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to, but how many young people going to spring break are going not to drink?
Right. Well, and I was going to actually go to New Orleans by myself. And I was saying this to Josh when we were just friends. And he's all, New Orleans is cool, but I'm going to go ahead and meet you there. He's all, because you should not be going there alone. I was like, what?
Not
I can go by myself. He's
all, New Orleans.
No, I'm not trying to go to New Orleans by myself. You know what I mean? Like,
See, in my mind, I'm like, oh, my mom's family's from there. It's fine. I haven't been yet. I want to go. No, not so much.
No, okay. No. It's too, it's just like I said, the world we live in, it's just, there's too many ways to be taken advantage of, and just in general, like even if just something simple, you fall down and hurt yourself. Say there's more safety in numbers. You know what I mean? You have someone to pick you up and carry you to get bandaged up. So the moral of the story is, kids, I know it's spring break. I know you're young. I know you're trying to have fun. I'm not trying to be your uncle over here. You're like, your damn kids. Yes, you are. Need to get it together, all the kids.
Yes, you are. You thrive for that.
Right.
Why are you riding your bikes? Who told you could ride your bikes outside?
You even have a different voice for it. Don't tell me you don't want to be that.
Right,
voice. But no, seriously, because that's the last thing you want. I mean, come on, you want that to be or even it to be if you live, like, because there's no winning in that situation. She died, but if she had lived, she was raped by 2 people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, life is still better than death, but I see your point. There was no happy ending regardless.
That's what I'm saying. And so, and that's only one story.
Did they catch the 2 guys?
Yeah, they caught the 2 guys. They're in custody and they've been charged with like 5 different things. And so, and even like, fellas, bottom line is, number one, not only does no mean no, but if she can't say yes, that means no. Because I'm sure their defense is going to be like, we were partying together, she was with it, whatever. If you have to carry her, that means no. If she can't hold her own head up, as in the surveillance video, they said they were holding her head up, that means no, right?
This whole thing makes me sick.
Yeah, so it just, in general, like, guys, we're not animals. And so we have to understand that the days of taking advantage of someone who's tipsy are over. Right. Not that it was ever cool, but there was a time where it was more acceptable in culture. Like that was, we know now, like we know better. No, because there was a time when people would justify that.
Rick Ross had a lyric, he put a pill in a girl's drink or something.
Yeah, no, there was a time when.
Wait, there was a time when what? Because we're running out of time, but there was a time when what?
When like it wasn't a bad thing to get with someone who was inebriated. It wasn't shunned upon. Like that was the thing. You would go like, yo, we're gonna go get her drunk. That was the terminology. It was like, yo, we gonna go get them lit because then they ready. You know what I mean? And so like, that even the whole
so horrible.
It does, but I'm just saying. But that was not ever making it right. But we didn't know better. There's no excuse now. We know better. Post Me Too. And all of the information that we've had over the last 10, 20 years, there is no excuse. We know better. You know what I mean? So with that being said, we got to get out of here. I want to play.
Wait, before you play, did you guys hear that the Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson fight is off because they can't agree on a deal?
Wait, so it's off, then it was on again, then it's off again now.
It's off again?
I just saw that it was off again. This was as of yesterday. So... So we'll continue it tomorrow, but I'm just letting you know. Or we'll continue it whenever we continue it. But I wanted to talk more about it.
Cool. So, yeah. So anyways, I hope you ladies have a wonderful evening. I'm going to be doing something real boss-like. I'm about to go do dishes. So, I live that boss life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, but with that being said, on behalf of Melian and Miss Cherie Marlene, we always want to remind y'all, reach for your best, reach for success, but most of all, reach for God, because God is love and love is everything. We'll see y'all mañana.
Baby, I got options. I keep watching, keep on calling, but I'm thinking about you. Ain't no stopping. We keep rocking. I said I got options, but I'm choosing on you. If you're really down the road, then we can ride out. I don't wanna wait, so make your mind up. I wanna get closer. Now we pushing up on you. Make it last a little longer. Take it off and put it on you. You know I got options, yeah. I got options, yeah. You know I got options, yeah. I got options, yeah. options. Always got something to say when I drop some. Stay down, I kept it real, you know where I'm from. Ain't the type to keep it low-key, I'm not the one. You're saying too much, but I want you to show me. Don't need a rush, can we just take it slowly? Better act right, I don't wanna waste no time. Yeah, you saying them things about to lose my mind. I got options, yeah, yeah. I got options, yeah. You know I got options, yeah, yeah. I got options, yeah.
Oh my.